We are finally back at it with another morning lift. I'm excited. Uh, I actually got up a little later than I would have liked to. Um, I think I just got so immersed in the TikToks I was watching this morning that I kind of went past the deadline that I needed to get up. So it is 4:35 a.m. I got to stop by the gas station, get gas. I will probably start or be done warming up by like 5. So that gives me about 40 minutes to work out both quads and hamstrings. And so in situations like this, where I really don't have enough time to do both muscle groups to the degree that I'd like to, I think it's a good idea to be as malleable as possible. So what I'm going to do today, and this is off the cuff, I'm just now thinking of this. I am going to warm up hamstrings and then jump right into quads. So today is going to be a quad focused leg day. And the reason for that is, well, obviously I don't have enough time, but what led me to this conclusion is that between my hamstrings and my quads, my hamstrings are a lot more well developed. Whenever I do like my little posing session, my hamstrings kind of outshine my quads. There's a huge clear line of separation between them, and I I almost feel like my hamstrings dwarf my quads. Now this doesn't mean that like going forward every leg day I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bias quads and just not worry about hamstrings, because while like proportionally hamstrings are bigger than my quads, that doesn't mean that I'm like at that like freak level where, I have to stop hamstrings entirely to let the rest of my body catch up. Uh, I am nowhere near that level. And also, we have to keep in mind that I'm still cutting. So not doing one muscle group to do the other, the only thing that's going to happen is that whatever muscle group, so for this context, if I stop doing hamstrings and only focus on quads, the only thing that's going to happen is my hamstrings will get smaller. My quads aren't really going to change. They're not going to get any bigger because I'm at a deficit. I'm not giving myself enough nutrients and energy to be able to grow anything. So just for time's sake today, we'll do quads. Because like the muscle mass that I do have in my quads, is kind of that it's more important. Like I can justify it more today. But I think I've talked about this a little bit before. I mean, the only thing I really do talk about is cutting, because I've been doing that for a millennia now. But oh man, I try not to think about the fact that I'm not making any gains, because it can be very disheartening. Going in every day, doing the same thing, it can be a little daunting, especially when you're cutting for as long as I have. It's just not motivating. But the cool aspect about it is that I know every single day that I do go in and I get a freaky pump. Mm-hmm. And I get to do my freak check at the end of the lift. Every single time I do that, it's going to look incrementally better and better. And I mean, I am noticing differences all the time, especially in like my legs and my stomach. Because for my fat distribution, I carry most of my fat on my stomach, my sides, and my legs. Uh, and with my stomach and like waistline especially, it's getting to the point where I'm having to buy a new set of pants. Uh, when I started this cut, I was wearing like size like 40 waistline. And so all of my pants, like this was around when I started my job, uh, doing microbiology. Um, all the pants that I bought are size 40. So now, I mean, it used to be that I kind of had to like not squeeze it, like they fit. They fit pretty well. Uh, but now I don't even have to like undo the button in the fly. I can just slip right in. And if I don't wear a belt with these pants, they will fall. And that's for all of the pants that I have. Um, and yesterday, while I was at Costco, I saw a nice pair of pants. Uh, they're in like the green color that I like. Uh, so I bought those and I was like, you know what? Let me buy a size 38. I could justify that. And even the size 38 is a little too big. Um, so I know I kind of go back and forth on like, am I cutting right? Have I been doing it right and whatever? But I mean, it's pretty obvious that I am. My pants don't fit anymore, which is an expensive problem to have. Uh, but that's why I was blessed with a belt. So pretty cool stuff. Um, I've also been seeing a lot more vascularity in my arms and my legs. Like after a really good leg pump, I'm seeing some crazy veins, especially around the hamstrings and like on the sides of my legs. So that's pretty sick. Um, even on my calves, like unpumped, just walking around, I'll have like veins sticking out of my calves. Uh, I wish I could enjoy them more, but I like pretty much only wear pants. The only time I wear shorts is when I'm lounging around at home. Um, and to be honest, there's no real reason why, like, when I go to the gym, I'm always wearing sweatpants. There's not like a reason for it per se. I just kind of like it. I don't really feel like lifting in shorts or anything. Um, and well, I guess there is like a small reason. I'm a big fan of the proponent of like wait and see, I guess. So with construction sites, whenever they're building some new fancy building, they'll cover it up with tarps and stuff so nobody can see what it looks like yet because it's still under construction. And I kind of adopt that same mentality of, there's nothing worth seeing yet. Um, I'll be able to show off when I get there. Um, that's another, reason why I don't pose on camera either. I mean, to me, there's nothing really worth showing off yet. And also, that's not like the point of these videos. The point isn't for me to show off or, get views or anything. It's just kind of a fun little thing for me. It's, just an added cherry on top, with the lifting and stuff. Plus, it keeps me motivated. Because at the point that I'm at now where, you have so much body fat to get rid of, it can be hard to stay motivated sometimes with how long the journey has been. Um, I'm I've been toying around with the idea of doing a like month long, not a bulk by any means, but eating at like where my maintenance calories are for like just a month to reset my metabolism. I'm thinking about it. It wouldn't be a bad idea. But we'll see. But I'm getting to the gas station now, and I've got to rush this, and I will see you guys once I'm in the gym.
You can work in with me.
I'll hit this one while you're on that one.
Sounds good. I've got my phone right here, but I can move it if you need me to.
You're good.
Now that was a good leg day, or I guess we'll call it a quad day. You guys got to see a little bit of it. I was kind of hoping to take you through the entire lift today, but I am not going to record other people. In fact, in that last leg extension clip, this thing keeps falling. The last leg extension clip, the guy asked if I was still, on the machine, and he ended up working on next to me. So that's why the video was a little like, the proportions are weird because I just cut him out of the video just because I'm sure he doesn't want to be a part of it. Damn, it is really fucking boring right now. But that was a great lift. So, like I said earlier, we warmed up hamstrings. Got honestly, it doesn't take much for me to get a good hamstring pump. I've got to fix this fucking thing. It really doesn't take much. I just warmed up with some, standing leg curls and then just warmed up how I normally would for hamstrings on the laying leg curl. I did one working set and I was already not peak pumped, but pumped enough to where I felt good. And then I went over, I warmed up the, abductors and quads and then banged out, I want to say 6 sets of leg extension. I did 3 on the ones that you guys saw, relatively heavy. The stack only goes up to 220. I had it set to 200. And to be honest, I probably could have put it maxed it out, but I think those would have been a little too scrappy. I want to leave enough room to where I can, kind of have a moment at the top where I really squeeze my quads, as opposed to just muscling it up like I would have if I maxed it out. But you saw those 3 on that machine. And then I moved over to another leg extension. We have 3 different leg extension machines at this gym. And the one that you guys normally see me at is the one I like the most. But I kind of discovered that this other one, I might like it a little bit more. Just because it has a seat belt on it. So it kind of holds me in. That's always been my problem when I go heavy with leg extension is, it kind of pulls me out of the seat. But, the only reason I don't really like this one is because the back of it is not adjustable. And I think it's designed for people with longer femurs than me. But if I just put a pad on the back of it, it helps out a lot. So I think I might do that one a little bit more. The stack's also a little lighter on that one, but Who doesn't like a little ego lift, you know? So, banged out 6 sets of that. And then for the last 2, I did some sissy squats as well as a superset just to really stretch everything out. Felt fucking great. And the pump also looked great. I could tell that it was a little lacking just because, I mean, I would have loved to have thrown in some sort of pressing movement and do a little more in the hamstring department, but given the circumstances, that was pretty fucking great. I cannot complain any more than that. So now, plan is to get to work, have a good little day, make the shareholders some money, and then, if I'm not too tired, maybe we'll grind some Apex later tonight. We'll see. You guys will be happy to know that I finally got a 2K game on Caustic. I talked about it on one of these videos a few days ago. It's just been a hard fucking season, man. All the sweats are out. Early season is just a little hard. But we finally got a 2K game, so I know the 3K game is not too far out. But let's have a little conversation. Let's think about something good to talk about in the department of lifting. What do you guys want to talk about? What is a unique point of conversation that we can really delve into? I talk about motivation a lot. You know what? I'll talk about my split. Got something in my throat. So the way that I have my current split is chest and side delts, back and rear delts, arms and legs, and repeat. And then on arms, sometimes I'll throw in forearms, and then calves I'm kind of meant to throw in as much as possible, but I'm just kind of lazy. But I'm sure people see that split and upload schedule and say, okay, this dude is just copying Sam Sulek's, entire split and everything. But allow me to give you some context. Way back when, a little over 2 years ago, it's been like 2 years and 6 months of me lifting consistently. So for the first, I want to say 3 months, I did a conventional push-pull legs. And then, after I'd kind of gotten my bearings in terms of lifting, I started doing an Arnold split. So, for those of you unaware, the Arnold split is chest and back, shoulders and arms, and then legs. And I did that for 3 months. And it was fun just because it was, a new split, a new type of, movement. But it just didn't work very well for me because on chest and back days, by the time I finished chest, I'm pretty gassed out. It's hard for me to give it my all when I got to back. Same thing for shoulders and arms. By the time I finished shoulders, I'm already pretty fatigued. So arms were suffering. So I toyed around with that. I would do like chest focused days and then just get a pump for back and vice versa. And I just didn't like it that much. So after that, I decided to do what I called a like modified bro split, which is what I'm doing. Like that is what I'm still doing, where I do chest and side delts, back and rear delts, arms, and legs. And I'm not going to say I came up with it, but me and my older brother, who is strong as hell, you definitely consider him a power lifter considering the weight that he does. Or a strong man, really. But I deliberated with him and we kind of came up with this. And it worked out pretty fucking great. And coincidentally, Sam Sulek started posting around then. So the point is, I found this split to work very well for me. And it's not an uncommon split. a metric fuck ton of people do it. So the point is, you kind of have to toy around with your splits for a while until you figure out what works best for you. I was talking to a guy in the gym today, and he follows this program by Mike Israetel. And it seems to work really great for him. But I'm sure he hasn't been doing that since he started lifting. He probably messed around with his split for a while, push-pull legs and everything until he found the thing that works best for him. So it's great to copy other people, especially when you're like figuring out how to lift and you're still getting your bearings. But if you see somebody doing whatever type of split and they always do decline bench press, that's their like bread and butter. But when you do the same thing, it doesn't feel very good. That doesn't mean that you're necessarily doing it wrong, or, you know, you have to keep I mean, I'm sure you, like, if you keep working at the same thing for a while, you will get good at it. But everybody's body is different, and you kind of have to, it's up to you to figure out what movements work best for your body. I figured out pretty early on that flat bench and flies don't work very well for my body. Flat bench just felt too tight. I'd always get some, like, after a bench day, my left shoulder would feel super sore to the point where I'd have to take an extra number of rest days away from chest just to recover. And it's all about your own biomechanics. So I figured out that this works best for me. And luckily enough, our brother Sam does the same thing, so you can get plenty of inspiration from him in terms of movements and what have you. So always good to copy, but, you know, as you would for your homework assignments, you can copy, but change it up and make it your own thing. Like every now and again, the idea pops in my head to like change up my split, but I really don't see a reason to do that right now, especially when I'm cutting. Like during a cut, that is not the time for you to change your split, because you won't really be able to tell if it makes a difference or not, because you're not necessarily making any progress. You're just cutting weight. So if you're on a bulk, or you're maintaining, or maybe you're just maintaining, that's the time for you to change up your split and figure out what works. But in a cut, I think you're better off just sitting at where you're at, keep doing what you're doing. But yeah, I think that was a pretty good conversation piece. I'm sure maybe in the future I'll change my split one way or another, but for the foreseeable future, I think we're going to be doing what we're doing right now. Whenever I end up bulking, maybe I'll toy around with something new for a bit, but I'm pretty happy where I'm at. So, we got chest tomorrow. Not working tomorrow, so I'll be able to, you know, hydrate and carb up as much as possible. So, I expect it to be a very good chest day. But I will see you guys tomorrow for that.